to observe what Robert just read, and then say to yourself, well, what does that really mean? And studying Fuller, what it really means is the bailout for Bush Sr. was somewhere between 66 and $512 billion. But when we talk about the bailout today, the bailout is somewhere between $770 billion and a couple $1 trillion. So all that really happens is the size of the bailout has got larger, and really the time that it's taken to get to that point is faster. And those are some of the things that, as we go into talking about predicting the future, we'll be talking about that sort of thing. It's like, so this is going on. What does it really mean? So when we hear a statement from Bush Sr. and then Bush Jr. Years later, and really it's almost identical to what's going on. The only thing that's different is the size of the numbers and the speed that it happens. And as we study all of that, we'll start to understand that you can actually predict things by that level of information coming towards you. And that's really what Bucky Fuller was about. He was saying, can you think enough to be able to understand what this means to you, this little individual human being? And as we get through that on the course, I have no doubt that people will start to be aware of some of the language that's being used, some of the speed that is going on around us in our lives, and just how it is moving, and what we as individuals have a choice to do or not to do. Because me personally, I think this is the best time. This is the time that I've trained for. This is the time that I've really been around Robert for 20 years, because he really said to me 20 years ago that something like this could happen. And it's taken 20 years, but I can tell you it's a pretty interesting position right now, and that was from a person talking 20 years ago.
And today, we have more money coming in than ever before, in spite of the crash.
Absolutely, and all the businesses that we look at, that they're bringing in more money despite of the crash.
And that's why, if you're personally, ask yourselves these questions. If you're not rich today, or you're afraid of your financial future today, or the stock market crash today has affected you, you'll probably listen to somebody who gave you bad advice. You'll probably listen to somebody like a financial planner who sold you mutual funds, or somebody told you that job security was important, or they told you to save money. That is really bad advice, and I've been saying this now for so many years. I've also been saying, if you don't know what, if you're already concerned, then start a home-based business so you're not a victim of all this. And you guys have watched my website. There are guys on that website who really get upset with me, as well as with Donald Trump, for recommending network marketing or direct selling or home-based businesses. But today, let me tell you something. If you're not in this business, you're out of business. So that's why, really, I would like to have you come to my 3-day. But for many of you, I'm quite sure that $4,000 or $5,000 is too much money. If $4,000 or $5,000 is too much money, and you're over the age of 20, then you have somebody who lied to you. That's really what I'm saying.
Makes a lot of sense. And this is just, when I was reading your prophecy book, this was about probably 9 months to a year ago. That was the big eye-opening moment for me when I became an avid student of the markets, history, cycles, and I literally have a stack of books on my desk just on that material. In the book, you really don't even focus on what is happening in the market today as much as you focus on what's going to happen with the baby boomers in 2012. And so it's like we have that to look forward to as well.
The problem hasn't hit yet. Cheer up, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So it's going to get better for those who take action now. I mean, that's the point.
Yeah. what is the best course of action for people? What is the advice that you can give folks on the line today if they want to not be a victim and take charge of their financial future?
Well, again, only they can answer this question. Today, are you out of money? Today, are you worried about your job or you're not making enough money? Today, are you worried about your retirement or are you worried about health care? And if you are, the reason is probably somebody gave you some bad advice. And until you kind of confess to yourself, if you're a Catholic, go to confession and say, I've been listening to a moron. And until you can do that, you're not going to change the problem. So, confession helps. The second thing is that it takes commitment. It takes a commitment to your life. For example, if you want to be an Olympic athlete, it takes commitment. You want to be a doctor, it takes commitment. If you want to be rich, it takes commitment. And the reason most people are not successful and 99% are financially successful, the reason 99% are not financially successful is they never made a commitment to their lives. It takes commitment. For example, when I was 17 years old, I made the commitment to the U.S. government that I would go to 4 years of education at the academy, and then I would give 6 years of my life. And so that's why I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps killing commies out in Vietnam. Now, I made that commitment. And the reason I bring all this up is now that the economy has crashed and the gravy boat is sinking, a lot of people are now making a commitment to be cowards. They're going to take it even easier. They're going to go into hiding. The problem with that is you're being committed to being a coward. You can't take it the easy way out. It takes commitment to be healthy. It takes commitment to be wealthy. And it takes commitment to be rich, especially in this environment. And most people haven't got the you-know-what to make that commitment to themselves and to their lives and their families and their friends. They talk about it, but they don't commit to it. And so that's really the thing, is I can't give you that. If you're broke today, it's because somewhere along the line you didn't make a commitment to your own life to be rich. Now that the economy has crashed, it's easy to join the rest of the crowd that goes into hiding and shoves their head up there, and waits for the dawn to come. Now, as Kelly says, is the best time to get rich. More millionaires are made during depressions, and I think we are entering a depression, but not if you're not committed. It's easier just to be a victim of it. And then you will hear the words of George Bush the First. We will see, I guarantee, that your deposits are secure. What a lie. Every time they bail out your deposits, it means inflation. And that means your deposits become less valuable. So that's really what I have to say. You can predict the future, but if you haven't got commitment to take action or to build your network marketing business, you don't have a prayer. You may as well go to church and pray for the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, Robert, can I add something to that, if you don't mind? To me, commitment is what's required, and it's commitment over time. It took us a long time to get into what we're going into right now, and it seems like money was so easy. I heard you talk about the gravy boat, or it was easy to make money. It was easy to make money for periods of time. To me, today, it's about committing to myself over a period of time and being disciplined over that period of time, and I will be able to predict the future. I will know that what it is that I do will come out the other side. For me, listening to, and if I could say to everybody on the call, I'm really an Australian. I lived most of my life in Australia. And when I come to the United States, the most fascinating thing for me is watching TV. And I watch the commercials, I watch all the TV, And all the programs, all the talk programs, all of the